Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the CURT Premium 4 Bike Rack hanging style bike rack carrier here on our 2020 Winnebago View. Now guys, this gives me a great little way of giving you a couple of bikes to that destination wherever you might be taking you. Now the View, I could be hard pressed to find getting 4 people in here all the time. However, if it's just you and small kiddos maybe going out, this can be a great little pickup, as most hanging styles run into some issues with kiddo bikes, especially right here. As you guys can see, we have this tapered arm. So what's great, a lot of times you start running into the issue where you need bike adapter bars to actually get your bikes to sit on here, but with this nice tapered arm, we're going to completely eliminate that problem for ourselves. So hopefully those kiddos bikes are going to have no trouble getting up on the end here, as you guys can see, and that just cuts down on one more headache in the mornings, not having a fight to find where those bike adapter bars are. We don't need them. We can just have them right here, hanging, good to go. On the very end too, you are seeing some little reflector units. I like pointing those out on a lot of carriers because I don't think they're standard enough. It's just nice to let people know exactly where our bikes are and where we are. That way we don't cause any accidents or damage on the road. Now, talking about this and some of your limitations, you are going to have frame contact on here. So unfortunately, carbon frame bikes not going to be an option for us, as we are having frame contact that will end up warping and deteriorating those carbon frame bikes. And as I already mentioned before, we should have no trouble getting most of our irregular bikes up on front on this tapered in. With 180 pound capacity overall, that puts you about 45 pounds per bike. Should have no trouble getting most of our standard and even a lot of those mountain bikes up on this bad boy with no trouble at all. Now the cradles aren't anything to write home about per se, but they are going to do a great little job for us. It is going to be a hard plastic here, and you can see you have those little raised ridges there. Those are hopefully going to help fit our brake line cables in between. That way we can reduce the friction that our paint's going to be feeling, not going to be damaging that frame for ourselves. The rubber strips themselves are pretty thick. I can see them holding up quite a while. Now, they're not the thickest strips I've seen out there. However, they should do a good job of just latching onto those knobs for ourselves and securing our frames. You are seeing an integrated anti-sway cradle here as well. That vertical post becomes great to make sure that we're reducing that sway. Now, you're not going to be reducing all of the sway, of course. This just helps bring it back in line and really keeps it from going too much. And is just hopefully reducing however much we're feeling, especially as we get 4 bikes up on this guy. Well, to take the bike off doesn't take any time. We just come right up to those strips, simply pull on them, loosening them up past those knobs and getting them set out of the way. And that does bring us to our anti-sway, which is going to be the same procedure. We just simply pull and we are free. Then to walk our bike off, we just simply support it and walk it down the arms like so. Mounting it can become just as easy, guys. The only thing to watch out for, make sure your strips are out of the way like this, therefore you're not pinching them, having to get it caught and mess with them. I like to just go ahead and make sure they're hanging to the side. That way I can bring them right across and get them set on that knob in no time at all. Now, with any hitch mounted accessory, we'll definitely be adding a little bit of length to our vehicle. Now, the View itself, of course, we're already in that motorhome, so let's go ahead and see exactly what we're working with here. From the back of our bumper here to the furthest point of our carrier is going to be putting us right over 35 inches there or so, guys. So about 35 1/4 inches, right? Or I'm sorry, 35 1/2 inches there, guys, from the back of our View. Definitely going to be a little length to consider. However, we do have a way of quickly shortening that down at the very top here on our center mast. We're going to have a pin and clip system. That spring clip just gets popped like so, and that allows us to remove our pin. By supporting our arms, we can bring it down, right back into position, and get that spring clip set. As you can see, you're going to have a little bit of play in here, guys. Not too much, especially being on the View. I don't think this is anything we're going to be feeling on the back of our vehicle, and it's definitely going to cut down on a lot of that length. As you guys can see, already shortening down quite a bit. Let's go ahead and give a measurement there. Looks like we're about 1/4 of an inch over 12 inches there, guys. So about a foot now, only on the back of our View. Definitely not going to be too much space to have to keep in mind here, which is great for ourselves. Now, one last little thing with this too, guys, you actually do have a tilting capability. To do so, we just remove that clip right there, loosen this back knob here, which takes a little bit of that center play out, and then we just simply remove that pin and lift up on our hand knob here, and that's going to allow us to tilt this away. Now, not going to be super useful here on the View, of course. As you guys can see, not a lot we need to get to. However, this can be great to go ahead and throw on one of the other vehicles in our family, especially if you hatchback. This allows you great, easy access to that back cargo. Therefore, we're not kind of boxed in and can't access it. We'll go ahead and just reattach these really quickly. Now, of course, as we said, not much you're getting use out of this on the View, but just nice that we have a little versatility with the rack, and we're not going to be stuck to only our motorhome, of course. Make sure we are tightening that back knob, as it really does help with a lot of the play. And you will notice this little U-bolt here. This becomes great to give us an attachment point. Maybe we want to go ahead and grab a cable lock, or maybe just a cam buckle system to really reduce that sway that our bikes are going to have. Can be nice to go ahead and run those through and give us a nice little attachment point to help make sure we're not having as much contact. Another important thing to keep in mind, though, is going to be our clearance on this guy. Now, we aren't sitting too far from the back of our hitch, but let's go ahead and see from the rear of our carrier here to the very ground is going to be putting us right at 21 inches there, guys. So pretty good spread there. Something I'm not going to be too worried about. However, if you do find yourself going over very steep inclines, keep in mind, as those front wheels go up, the back will go down. So will our hitch mounted accessories. So let's just watch that as we go. And of course, moving our way on the inside here, you can see we have a 2-inch shank here, and that is allowing us to utilize our 2-inch receiver. And on the inside of that, you are having a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt. Now, these guys are very standard across the industry, but you love to see them. As I give this guy a shake, you're going to see it's going to be shaking that entire View. It's a little harder to do as a bigger vehicle, but that means we're taking all the play out of our carrier, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, and especially our bikes. Well, guys, I think the CURT Premium can be a great little pickup, especially if you find yourself with a couple kiddos with you in your View. Now, the View is not specifically designed to have a lot of people in it. However, I could definitely see us having just a few little family members with us on our drives. And I think you can't really beat those tapered arms. They really eliminate the hassle that a lot of those kids' bikes might have. Or even if you just have some step through or some women's bike that might have a little bit of an issue, nice that we have that tapered arm to go ahead and hopefully eliminate the need for a bike adapter bar. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look at the CURT Premium 4 Bike Rack hanging style carrier here on the back of our 2020 Winnebago View. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.